Enhance. Good Lord.
Damn, pop it.
Yeah.
All right, we are live. So we're going to get into this.
Where to Hunt podcast. It's okay.
Hi, I'm Dan Small, host of Outdoor Wisconsin, and I listen to Where to Hunt.
It's okay.
I'm Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bow Hunter. I listen to Where to Hunt podcast, and it's decent.
It's all right.
Hey, this is Bud Fisher with Catching Deers, and I think the Where to Hunt podcast is all right.
I had one job. One job.
Bitch. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Where to Hunt podcast. I'm Eric.
Greg Tubbs here, forgetting to hit the record button.
Today is March 10th, 2020. It's a Tuesday. It's beautiful outside.
And we're working on killing the coronavirus.
You know what? I gotta
Extra.
have a corona. Where do we put those things? We're gonna get it. We're gonna kill this corona. And then I got 2 bottle openers. Here's one. So, real quick before we get into the topic, as I kill this thing, and our guests who you see in studio with us, we'll ignore them for just a minute. We gotta keep pushing that yellow button. There we go. Ooh, it smells great. So, we have to call out our sponsors, the guys and gals and the companies that make this show possible. Certainly, we get the energy that we need to do this show. At least I do. According to Greg on last week's episode, I sweat coffee.
You do sweat coffee.
So Backwoods Grind, backwoodsgrind.com. If you head over to their website, you're going to find that it smells like coffee, which is confusing, but it's great. And you can enter code WTH podcast for 10% off. And then I like to say, switch your fucking boots.
Wow.
You know,
the F word?
I had to. I just,
Wow.
if you haven't made the switch to gum leaf boots, I'm just not sure. I mean, I know that they're a big investment. That's why we give you a discount. So you can enter in code WTH2020 and you're going to get 10% off of these beautiful rubber, handmade, from scratch, comfortable, durable boots from Gum Leaf USA.
Wow, you crushed it.
Okay.
I don't need to say anything.
Wore them over the weekend. They're just great.
I did too.
Yeah. Okay, and then also, where's the musket powder? It's over there. War Danger says Epstein didn't kill himself, and I believe him. So War Danger is the founder of Musket Powder, which is a seasonal, camp tested, and it's homemade. So
And it's delicious.
It is delicious. We put that shit on everything. So you can enter in code W2H podcast, and you can get a BOGO, buy one, get one. So you buy one, and poof, now you get no hands free.
Second one just miraculously repairs.
Yeah, it's really
That's
interesting.
awesome.
So who do we have with us here? What's up, guys? We got. Oh yeah, good job, Greg.
Yeah,
you did your job.
Right on time again.
Right on time.
We're learning.
What's going on, man? I'm Alex, owner of Outdoor Addiction.
I'm Andy, the producer on the podcast.
Cool.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Not taking the number 2.
What?
What?
Better not be.
We're in the
Yeah.
I thought I smelled something. Better open that window.
Come on, Andy, get it together.
It was like mothballs.
He gets a little excited and then he gets a little nervous.
So you guys just drove over. The truck looks beautiful.
Well, thank you, man. Just got it, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe a couple months ago.
And then
Nice
wrapped
rig.
it right
Got
away.
it wrapped up. Shout out to Eric, EP Custom Graphics.
Okay, I might have to talk to Eric. With
He's the man. When you need your truck wrapped, call him up.
cool.
Okay.
And so, where are you guys located?
Just west of Madison, Blue Mountains, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Most people know it for the state park. Otherwise, there's Duluth trading companies out there. Vortex Optics is right next to us. So a little bit west of Madison, right out in the country. It's a nice area.
You guys hang out with Vortex a lot then?
Yeah, we know a lot of guys that work there.
Cookout. Hey guys, come on over.
We keep in touch, hang out once in a while. Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like they would be frequent guests if I was nearby.
Yeah, we need to do that.
You gotta get like a range. Do you have a range on campus too?
They do, but we don't.
Oh, well, see, then,
I mean,
it's a little bit
we
of
do
a
shoot
synergy,
guns
right?
occasionally at Gophers and Chipmunks and whatever's running around the shop.
Nice.
Get away with
All right, so there's a story here. I learned about you when someone wrote an article about you in one of the papers.
Yeah, that
last
was
fall.
the State Journal. Yeah, they came out and did an awesome article. Got a lot of attention for us. Kind of helped get us our message out there. And then you guys found us, but you were already following me before
Oh,
that.
yeah.
When did you start following us?
I don't even know. It's probably been a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wow.
Like, I think you had just moved into the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Wow. Yeah, that was like 4 years ago.
Well, then it might have been just after I started Instagram maybe. So,
Right.
But I think you guys had just moved in. You were renting the shop, and now you currently have bought the shop. So,
Yep, bought it this past year, and we do taxidermy, deer processing, CWD testing, food pantry donations, lots of other cool services for people that hunt and fish. We try to make it easy. Everything in one stop. Yeah.
that's pretty
Okay,
sweet.
let me wind you up, and I'll just let you
Rewind.
go for a little bit. Like, how did this happen? How
Good
did
question.
Right?
Your guess is as good as mine.
And you're young too. I think you posted a
28.
video. You're 28.
Yep,
Right.
28.
You're a
So
puppy.
It doesn't
I'm a
feel
little
young,
puppy.
but you are.
We're just getting going. Hey, cheers, boys. Thanks for having me on. This is gonna be fun.
Cheers.
Fun killing the coronavirus, one beer at a time.
Get those
So yeah,
guys.
I started in my mom's garage 8 years ago. Best place to start a business.
I would agree.
All the best businesses
All the
start in
best
my mom's
businesses
garage.
start in a garage or a basement, right?
Literally, or in a
Weird 1970s.
You know,
We
whatever
went back
works.
in
Right?
time. We have like an old intercom system on the wall.
Jeez, that is awesome. I didn't even notice that.
Oh man.
So yeah, I just, one day I decided I wanted to start a business. Like literally just got this idea. And then I picked taxidermy.
Yep.
No rhyme or reason behind it. I always grew up hunting and fishing, and I'm like, yeah, let's get into taxidermy. Well, not the best idea if you love hunting and fishing, because your busiest times, taxidermy,
During hunting.
yeah, during the best times hunting. So yeah, I went to a taxidermy school, did a little bit of training, kind of got my toes wet, came back, did some stuff for friends, family, You got to start with what you got. I think the first year we did 8 shoulder mounts, and I always did deer processing too in the garage. So ever since day one, I had this idea, bring me your deer to get mounted and I'll process it too, give it a little combo deal type of thing. And 8 years later, we processed about 600 to 700 deer this year, 150 shoulder mounts. Yeah, so we're busy. And we're just getting started though.
and you don't just do whitetail deer. Obviously, I see.
Yeah,
with elk and
Everything
bear
now. I
and
mean, we
fish
do
and
some
ducks.
African stuff, rugs, ducks. I mean, you name it, we'll do it. That's another big thing with our business is, we don't turn stuff away. You come in, I don't care how crazy it is, other than pets, we're going to do it.
Other than pets.
You did
like,
do
wait a second,
goldfish.
I did a goldfish.
Blub, blub, blub.
Yep.
You gotta give it some blub.
I do know someone that does pets, but I won't touch him.
That's a weird one.
It's a weird one.
It's like, what is that? That
That's
show
a strange
Scrubs?
line to
Yeah.
cross.
Do you remember that show
I
Scrubs?
ain't
Where they had the
crossing.
Oh yeah,
stuffed
they
dog?
had Rowdy or whatever the dog's
Yeah, yeah.
name was. Yeah,
But it was like funny. I was like, that's not funny.
It's not funny. It's creepy as shit. So no pets. Don't get any ideas, people.
Interesting.
Wild game.
Wild game is where it's at. All right, so that's exciting. That's a shit ton. That has to really kind of not reduce, but compress your learning curve.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is, the more you do, the better you get too. Quantity gives you quality.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it. And you just can't be afraid to jump in and do stuff, even if you've never done it before. And the nice thing is, I've been at the point for a few years now where it doesn't matter what it is, I can knock it out of the park.
You kind of got the principles down. You understand
The
core
confidence.
structure of it.
Yep. And basically for taxidermy, you're taking a piece of foam that's sculpted by an artist, using measurements of the animal, recreating it, chopping it up, making the pose you want, making it fit, and then there's some finish work at the end.
How do you go about making it seem like the animal, like to mimic it, like aesthetically? What if there's like a strange feature where maybe it has a tuft of hair or
and that's really
coloration or
important with
something?
taxidermy because you don't want to miss that stuff. I mean, animals all have unique features, and that's our job, is to recreate that to the best we can to make it look as lifelike as possible. There's a lot of sculpting that goes on. I got some artists that work for me that are really good at that. Everything underneath the skin is foam, like I said. So you can chop it up into a million pieces, build it back up, make it bigger here, smaller there, add to it.
So when you say it's foam, is it like styrofoam and then
Like a
is there
urethane type of foam.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's like a putty or something that you can start to mold.
Yeah, so on top of that, you can use different clays, epoxies.
okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's very artsy. It's
all
like
the deer.
taxidermy is arts and crafts on steroids.
Yeah, all the deer eyes are clay, right?
Yes,
With
like the muscle and tissue
muscle
around it, and
yeah.
the eyelids there's clay on top of the foam, and then glass eyes.
I got to watch Jeff do mine.
I think Jeff's
So-
watching, or he was, or he will.
Cool.
He's on there, I think.
Yeah. So it was just like you said. You got they took measurements of my hide, and they said, "Yep, we need, shoulder mount, the semi sneak pose or whatever, looking left or looking right." They ordered the mount. Jeff looks at it and says, "You know what? It's not full enough here." He's got the putty, or he's got whatever it is that he makes to make it fill out, and he adds and takes away where he needs to, puts everything in, tucks everything real nice, places the eyes just perfect, and the finishing touches of painting the nose and doing all the cool stuff. Like my buck had a big scar under his eye. When I shot my buck, he actually had his eye poked out from the fight. So he had a big scar under his eye, and Jeff's like, "Oh, I can paint that up and make it look." I'm like, "No. That's got to stay on there."
Yeah.
You want to see that?
That's character, man. You got to show that stuff off.
So that deer was a scrapper.
I can make
He
him
fought
look real
everywhere.
good. No, I want a warrior.
Yeah, dude, those are the
That's what it
best.
was.
Yeah, you got to show those features off.
Yep.
Battle scars, broken tines. Although we do fix tines.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. Who the hell talked about that?
Derek
with us?
Melkor.
That's right.
Yep.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing. Like
It's a
Derek knows how to.
complicated thing too.
Well, and he's an art teacher, so he knows how to take that stuff and resculpt tines and fit them. And he knows what stains to use. He's really good at it. But you guys have your practice at it too, I'm sure. Where, like you said, repetition is key, and the more you do, the more repairs you make, or whatever it is, you'll get better at it. The more you do.
That's exactly right. That's how taxidermy is. The more you do, the better you get.
And so, do you guys do year mounts too?
Well, a lot of them, yeah. Like that's.
You get the bugs.
No, we simmer them. So we got a method. We do several different baths over a long period of time. Keep cleaning the water. Keep the temperature nice and low, because when you get above boiling, there's a lot of bad things that can happen. We don't use any harsh chemicals until the end. Then we use some solvents and chemicals to degrease and whiten them. And, there's one way to do a whitetail, but then you get other skulls like bears, boars that are really greasy that you got to add some extra steps to ensure that they don't look wet and yellow 2 years down the road. But it is bone, that can happen.
Yeah.
I've seen some really old stuff, and, we've taken some ones in and cleaned them up, made them look like new.
Okay. Oh, I painted the one I have over there.
I can
With
tell.
some flat one.
You can't fool me.
Dude,
I'm the
I
skull
didn't
man.
do a good job either. Like,
It's not that bad.
It's like the first one I've ever done.
If you
I was
did that
like,
yourself and you said you buried it,
yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah.
Like for real. For doing it that way, that's good.
Jeff helped me a little bit at the end.
Yeah,
He came
no, that's
over and he's
awesome.
Like, we're gonna put some. It wasn't baking powder, but it was some sort of like
Peroxide.
peroxide.
in there in the bath with
Yep.
it.
Well, the powder it's powdered bleach is what that is.
Yeah, okay.
And then you mix it with a clear developer.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. It
Yeah.
stunk like shit.
I know.
I was like, oh man, he's like, we gotta get the brain out of there. I'm like, yeah,
Gotta get the
okay,
brain out.
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. Yep.
Over there gagging
And
on
then the
it.
dog.
I got high
was
school kids that come in and
obsessed.
do that after school. They love it.
Yeah,
They crank the
really?
music up and just
Just
go
let
to
her
brain
go.
removing. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
There's no zombies at your place when that all
Oh,
breaks
man,
out.
It's a big biology project for him. And
Yeah, I actually got
think-
one kid in high school works for me. He's doing a class project with his deer mount. So
Really?
yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's pretty neat. So
and
do you live?
people are fascinated by taxidermy.
And you live pretty close to you, or you just put a cot in the office there?
Yeah, actually, so in my building, lower level is a taxidermy shop. Maybe it's like 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And then the main floor is the biggest area. We do the deer processing, showroom, loading dock, freezer, cooler, all our smokehouse, all the processing stuff. And then upstairs, I have an apartment.
Nice.
It's like a little self-sufficient area. So
oh my gosh.
it's great for now. Eventually, I'm gonna be like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
What was it?
Yeah.
But right now, I walk down, go to work. I love it.
Dude,
I can
these are
really
the
put
days
some.
that you're gonna reminisce on.
Right.
I know for sure.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
It's so.
An
It's
old
just
cheese factory. Is that what it
originally it
was?
was a cheese factory.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to get a little like pay some homage to that and get like a cheese curd fridge in there or something like that.
I should. Yeah. My uncle had that when he owned it. He sold cheese
Partner
out
with
of
some
it.
local cheese
I
company.
know,
and be
right?
like,
I actually
hey,
have
we got
pictures
cheese
of it.
curds 'cause,
Yeah.
here's your cheese curds for free when you bring us some out.
Outdoor addiction curds. So yeah,
You're a marketing genius.
my uncle owned the shop before me, and I remodeled the basement, which was a walk-in freezer and a walk-in cooler
Oh, it was a nightmare.
for the cheese factory. Yeah, you
Complete
helped me do
nightmare.
that.
Oh,
It was
God.
fucking insane.
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh my gosh,
There's
I don't
like
even
that
want to talk about it.
styrofoam board with, I don't know, like
You gotta have a
tinfoil
certain,
on it almost.
You gotta have an R value in there in order to keep the cold.
Oh,
in.
there was an R value. There was
that's
like
what it
10
'cause
different
it's just a
layers.
regular, yeah, just a regular basement.
It was like
and
R 16,000.
Yeah,
Nice.
2-inch styrofoam with like some foil on it, and it
Tar
broke
paper?
Off. Yeah, it broke off in little like baseball-sized pieces.
Oh my!
And it was the entire taxidermy shop.
Yeah,
with
the-
ripped ceiling.
The best
walls,
part is Andy's
everything.
going to town on the ceiling and boom, it's a water pipe.
Oh no.
Water starts flying everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh, it's funny.
You're probably so
terrible.
confused. Why am I wet? What's happening?
yeah. I used to do demo, so he asked me to help.
Out
and
of
I was
all
like,
people, the guy who used
And
to
I'm
do
the guy
demo
who
hits
hit
the pipe.
something. Yeah,
Well, you're just in demo mode, man.
yeah,
Yeah, Hulk smash, right?
yep.
So yeah, we tore that apart. At that point I was just by myself doing mounts, Had a little showroom up front, and
If
now
they build it, they will come. You're like, oh my God, somebody please drop off a deer.
yeah,
I hope
man.
this all works.
Funny story. So the first year after I went to taxidermy school, I mounted one deer in taxidermy school. This is like a pretty popular taxidermy school, but it was an old dude, really old methods, you know. So I had to go out and convince people to bring me their deer to mount.
Yep.
After doing one deer, hey, let me mount your deer. I'm a professional taxidermist. So you got to be a good salesman.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll give you a real good discount, and I'm gonna learn a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how you start.
Yep.
I mean you got to be honest with people.
And they're like, oh, cool.
But you gotta be
I can get it for,
confident.
Like half the price of this other guy.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how you start. So the first year I think I charged $350 for a shoulder mount, and now they're $725. So you get what you pay for.
Yep. That's funny because that's how I like. Not that it matters for this show, but I did logos, and I did a couple for free for friends.
Yeah,
family.
dude, you have to. That you got to
got my
bootstrap it.
confidence up, and then I was like, all right, I'll charge $100. Now I charge like $500 for it.
Oh man, yeah, and in 10 years from now it'll be 1,000 or 2,000.
Maybe I'll stop doing it.
Once you make it big, podcasting.
I'm time consuming, but I love it. So it's actually been fun to help people out like you guys, like in the industry.
Yeah,
like,
super
Oh
cool.
yeah, you do logos. Yeah, let's do some.
Hell yeah, man. Especially people in the outdoor industries.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, that's not important at all. Fuck logos. Let's talk
I mean, I'm all about marketing. I love it.
So that's, I think, one of the things that stood out about you most when I was paying attention. I'm
Yeah.
like, this guy gets it, you know? And you have the chops to back it up. And,
Yeah.
you know, as a marketer, you have to. Otherwise,
You got
you're just
to.
selling a shiny turd, right?
This is my marketing little slogan. You got to be omnipresent. You got to be everywhere all the time
Yep.
at the same time.
I think you're doing a good job of that. This will help.
I mean, I do all of it on my own. So that's what I really can't wait for is to hire someone to help me do that. That's when we're really going to start taking off.
Yeah, it makes a big
Because I mean,
difference.
there's a direct correlation with your marketing and your sales. Like it's exact. The more you market, the more your sales go up.
Yep.
You know, as long as you got good product and services.
And you
But
do,
being
yeah.
the best known is
Yeah.
very important.
Well, and I don't know of anybody else that's like a one-stop shop.
No, there's not.
No.
No. Not like us. I do know someone who does the same thing I do down in Texas,
Okay.
but
That's Texas, right?
we're like really good
Yeah.
friends and she's on the opposite end of the world. So it works out great.
Yeah, and you can probably jam with each other a little bit. Like,
All the time.
Why are you doing this? Or,
All
"Hey,
the
how
time,
about-"
every day.
That's
Shout out to Otea Taxidermy down in Texas.
Sweet. Maybe she knows Ward.
You never know. San Antonio.
So, you know, taxidermy, you've heard your horror stories, right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't. The guy
we
went out of
see 'em.
business trying to get my deer back, or it's taking forever. I haven't heard anything.
That's one of my biggest motivators.
Right.
Oh,
There's
it gets
a
my
lot
blood
of
boiling.
that.
A lot of that.
My dad
Taxidermy
fell
has
victim to that.
Yeah. My dad too. Maybe that's why I'm so inspired to kind of change the game up to standards like that. Knock that shit off. We got to be businessmen, you know? There's a lot of good artists, terrible businessmen, but
Yeah.
I think you should be both.
Yeah, the technician, not the business person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like a year is like the maximum you should take because here's the problem when you get over a year. You get into the same season that you're already not completed. Well, it's a scaling effect of getting behind and then it spirals downward. And,
Yeah, that's interesting.
you know what I mean?
And how long does it take to do a mount?
I
do
mean,
a good job.
a deer, a professional, you know, a beginner could take 18 hours, but a professional can do a deer in about 6-7 hours
Really?
of working time. But it's probably a
Right.
30-day process because we tan too.
And you're
like
probably
a real
jumping
tan.
around a little bit, right?
Totally jumping around. So it starts off with caping, put it in the freezer, then you tan it, which is a whole nother process that I've mastered over the years to prepping the hide, mounting the hide, and then letting it dry for a couple weeks, and then doing your finish work, the art
Okay.
stuff, the painting, the epoxies, repairs, fixing scars, or making them look like real scars.
Right.
Because when skin dries, it doesn't look like a live animal. So you got to go back in, paint it, touch it up, clean it up, you know, make it look like it's alive.
Yeah,
That's
through the
pretty neat.
tanning
Yeah.
process, it loses like the nose turns more of a grayish color.
Colors change.
Yeah,
Yep.
even like the scar under my deer's eye, you couldn't even tell it was more of a
Kind of
peach
like
color.
a mortician.
Yeah,
Yeah, when people say, "Can you do my grandma?" I'm like, "I'm not a mortician." I had one guy tell me, he's like, "Hey, can you mount my ex-wife?" I'm like,
Oh, well, I mean, which way would
let's see her. Let me see her."
That's a taxidermy joke right there. I think.
Right?
No, that's a hard no.
Not a mortician.
You got a picture? Okay, no.
No, we're not doing that. I'll give you Andy's number.
Yeah. Thanks.
And so, Andy, you're doing the podcast stuff. So, what does that look like?
Yeah,
What-
so we
how,
just
how are you guys doing that?
We'll back up there. We started it this summer. It took about 3 months to figure out how to do one episode.
Yep.
All right.
It didn't go well.
Dude, if it's a podcast,
Yeah,
that's how
we
you know
started-
it's working.
How was your first episode?
So I have a video that'll be produced probably this weekend,
Nice.
and you'll see exactly how
Yeah.
my first episode
Way
went.
different than today.
Jared Scheffler was my first guest, and it went something like this. With this on the line today, we have Jared with Whitetail Adrenaline. It was bad for me. And then I did this.
Anxiety.
Dude, that was pretty bad. I was in my room in my apartment. I was in college full time. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Dude.
He's like, why am I your first guest? I'm like, great question. I'm not sure.
The nice thing is that when we started, I've been in business for 8 years. I've learned a few things. I told Andy, I'm like, we're going to suck it first. And I promise you we're going to get better. We just got to stick it out.
Yep.
And we've done 11 episodes, so we're still pretty new at it. We're getting consistent to that every week. But
Well, technically, we've done like 16 episodes. but
Probably.
We've trashed a couple of them.
Yeah.
But like, these are
a
absolutely terrible.
couple of early ones got trashed, but
Yeah.
we've been on a roll.
See that
We,
Scent Crusher bag there?
Yeah.
I talked to Audrey Pfaffy with Scent Crusher. Mm-hmm. I did a full episode with her. Thanks, Audrey. Thanks for being on the show. We're good to go. Go to produce it, and it didn't record her side of the conversation. So you just hear me.
completely gone, wasted.
Just didn't work. I don't know what happened. It had something to do with the dual channel set. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Called her back. Hey, Audrey, would you want to help me out here and do another one of the same exact thing?
Forgot to hit record.
How effing embarrassing. And she felt so bad for me that she sent me
Yeah.
a bag and I did a logo for it because I was like, I have to reciprocate.
Bootstrap.
She has the bug. She does the skull mounts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's the name? In Wisconsin?
Yeah, she's local.
Really? I love meeting people.
Oh, darn it. I'll find it.
All right.
Not right now.
Andy, back to the podcast.
Okay. So yeah, we listen to podcasts all the time. Decided let's do one. Can't be that hard. I have absolutely zero background in computers and sound and everything.
Yep.
So it's been a real challenge.
Same.
I get yelled at a lot. I have no idea what I'm doing, but they're turning out okay. So that's good.
The amount of I don't know what I'm doing, you'd be surprised that
That's
I have
what-
half of this.
Anything in business or starting from something or any project you're working on, that's what it is. You start, you don't know, and you figure it out as you go.
But here's the thing. I figure it out in the moment, and then I have no recollection. Dude, I
that's
passed
bad.
calculus in college.
Really? I couldn't do that.
And, but I can't like do math, because in the moment you figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't need this anymore.
Kidney stone.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's bad.
Got to write
Bad
stuff
problem.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a Christmas break for ours, and we had it all set up. Did like 7 or 8 episodes. Took a 3 weeks off or something, and came back to it.
Yeah, because during
Somehow-
gun season, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Somehow the computer got messed up, and I couldn't figure out how to get it to record to the computer, and it took an 11-year-old that was there with his dad for the podcast to fix
did
it
it?
all. Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
Kid was a genius.
That's who
I'm
you
like,
want.
dude,
You
you
need
need
to
to
hire
start
him.
your own like
Yeah.
kids
You
podcast.
need to bring him on
Yeah.
board as your
We
11-year-old
do.
intern.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's amazing. I don't remember. Jonathan Braun. Do you know Sportsman Alliance, Jonathan Braun? It's his son.
I do know
Yeah.
Sportsman Alliance.
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know if I know Jonathan Brown, but I've had Sportsman
Yeah.
Alliance on the show before.
Well, you'll have to get Jonathan on.
Okay.
He's the
He
man.
may have called in once upon a time.
It's possible. We've had quite a few callers. In fact, by the way, folks, hey, we're live right now. For those
Yeah,
of you
please
watching.
call in. I want some taxidermy questions.
Taxidermy
Let's get
questions.
dirty with taxidermy.
Let's get you on the line here. But we'll keep going because people, I don't know. This is like I've learned. I might have to change the time of this show because I've learned this when everyone puts their kids to bed.
Yeah, you got to do
What's
like
that time?
5.
Yeah.
Like
So
when I
that
go
might
on
be
Facebook
better.
or Instagram, 5 o'clock's the sweet spot.
Interesting.
Something to think about. For lives, at
That'll
least.
be
I mean,
Yes, I'm podcasting from the truck. Hold on a second. I got to pump the brakes.
Hey, asshole. Yeah,
Don't-
Greg has quite the commute.
Yeah, I do.
where do you come from?
Miller Park to
Lake Mills and Miller Park, man.
That's a hike.
Are you a brewer?
I could be.
Dude, he's a brewer,
Maybe
man.
I should be. I can see the stadium.
Yeah.
Stand up and look through the window from my desk. I can see the stadium.
That's legit.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
I get to
So, yeah.
see all the people puking in our bushes from opening day. That's pretty cool.
I can't wait.
We should start laying bets on those things.
Right?
Good idea.
What time do you think we're going to get our first puker?
Yeah, that's when we should.
I mean, it's Wisconsin. They start early.
Dude, can't you just like not work that day and walk over and join them for a little bit?
At least
I'm gonna go to
tailgating?
lunch. I'm gonna do
yeah.
a couple beer bongs. I'll be right back.
I've snuck over and thought about borrowing a couple beers and some food.
I'm gonna go get a real fresh Johnsonville brat.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do
I mean, and we're right downwind, so I can smell
That's
what
got to be a
everybody's-
holiday for your
Oh,
company.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, the office is closed today.
Yeah.
It's opening day.
Well,
and
we are
share
doing.
space
We
with the
do
parking
our
lot.
own tailgate for opening day at work.
Okay, good.
There you go.
And we
Easter
just
At least you get out there
finished
once.
Yeah, so we got a sky deck that overlooks
Oh,
Puker Alley now, so it's pretty cool. I could be grilling burgers and watching people Ralph.
Nice.
Oh, well, this was good. I'm
Nah,
done
it's
now.
fine. I got a strong stomach. It's all
Lost
good.
my appetite.
So the venison processing or the
Yeah.
processing.
Yeah. So I'll back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I always did that in my mom's garage.
Okay.
I talk people into like, hey, give you $10 off your shoulder mount if you process your deer. Plus, it saves you time. You don't got to go here. You don't got to go there. Just give it to me now.
Yep.
Get on with your life. And that's translated into like a huge part of my business. You bring it to me. We take care of everything. You get on with your life. And we got a reputation now, so people trust us.
You said was it 700?
Yeah, I haven't even counted. That's how busy I am.
And then you did 100.
It's about 650 to 700. Yeah.
So let's just say 700, 150 mounts.
150.
What percentage
of
those
the
are?
150 is like total probably shoulder mounts.
Okay.
Deer were at around 130, 140.
And are those all people that are processing too? Or
Not
is that
everyone.
Some people that
processing, you got to remember too, you get the does in there, right?
That's true.
So, I mean, you get way more to process. But, if you include skulls, total mounts, fish, birds, everything we do, I mean, 400 or 500 a year.
Okay.
Mounts we're cranking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a 12-month period. My season is like September 1st. We didn't have them
yet. We had some venison spaghetti that Holly cooked.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to try what you guys have.
Yeah, I brought you some addiction sticks. That's our snack stick.
Addiction sticks.
Hell yeah. So that's
I took a little look inside.
Did you know about this because you've been following him forever?
Well, I don't know.
I'm really excited about this now, guys.
Yeah, it's
I'm
good
not going to
stuff.
be able to focus the rest of the podcast.
That's actually my next business venture is selling this to the public.
Okay.
So like I buy elk, from USDA facilities, venison, because I can't sell wild game. That's highly illegal. I wish you could, because I'd shoot
gray.
deer and
I've
sell
done some
them.
research on this. It's a little gray because there's just basically one checkbox that has to get marked from the USDA and maybe another, but it has to be processed in a place where someone comes and checks it. So in Texas, they get around this by having a mobile processing station.
Yeah.
And then someone comes and says, yep, it's not diseased. You're good to go. You can sell this from your ranch or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And it could, in Texas, everyone's got a ranch. That's what it is down there. Everyone's got their ranch. They could shoot it and they could do that. My friend down there who does deer processing, they don't even get inspected by the health department. We get inspected by the health department.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was weird.
So we got to be up to code.
And so how do you sell? So you're going to maybe sell elk and some other things?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is make addiction sticks or jerky and retail it and sell it all over the country.
Because if I go to the Sportsman's Journal show that was just on this last weekend, or like maybe the Madison Deer and Turkey Expo, I can buy like alligator sticks.
That's what I'm saying.
All
yeah,
that stuff.
Exactly. Yep. There's a huge market for it, and I know my stuff's good. And with the marketing, I think we could do some big things. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and the name is great. How did you come up with the name, by the way?
Dude, a kid who works for me, he's like, you should call him Addiction Sticks. So
how'd you come with
Nick
outdoor
Sailing?
addiction?
Got to give him the shout out. Funny story. So have you ever had a hard time naming something like this podcast? So I went online, how to name a business. Jumble a bunch of words together, pick your favorite ones.
Did a generator.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, okay.
And then I had like obsession, ridiculous, good enough taxidermy.
Good enough.
Hey, this is the okayest podcast.
Okayest taxidermy.
My stickers aren't here yet. I would have given you some. I'll have to ship them over.
Right? And 2 months later, outdoor addiction. Boom. And then my girlfriend, like at the time, drew me up a logo, and it's what it is today.
You did a good job.
Yeah, she did a really good
That's
job.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a rowdy feel to it.
It does. Yeah, it's rustic, and you can see it.
And you got two different
This is the
versions?
original logo right there.
Okay.
Right now, it's either outdoor addiction or outdoor addiction taxidermy and wild game processing, because that's the other business is wild game processing.
We got to think about tagline for you.
Yeah, we do.
Meat so good you want to put it in your mouth.
Yeah, no limits. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Don't go with that one.
Funny, I got to say this because it's hilarious. So the building I was in was deer processing for 30 years.
Okay.
My uncle took it over from that guy. And then I moved in, rented the basement for taxidermy, and then I bought my uncle out.
Yep.
So my uncle's business was Uncle Jimmy's Deer Processing, but the guy before him was Dick's Quality Meats. So we would always say Uncle Jimmy beat Dick's meat. It was pretty funny.
That's kind of good though too that you like have. It's a known location for
it is,
deer processing. So like
huge benefit to that.
A big deal.
Yeah. And we're right on Highway 151, which goes, in a roundabout way, almost out this way. I mean, it connects to 94, 39, the Beltline. It goes from Madison to Dubuque, right?
Does that run north-south or east-west?
It runs east-west. Yeah.
All right. So that
But then it goes up, if you go through Madison, East Wash, it goes to like Beaver Dam area, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes right up towards Horicon.
Horicon, yeah. So
Horicon Marsh.
we get tons of people passing by that drop their stuff off, which you told me today. You're like, hey, you're on the way back.
Closer because we've been going to the place in Johnson Creek.
Yeah, it's Pernat's.
Pernat's, yeah.
Yep.
And I think it's good. I've had, I don't know, whatever, but they're not a one-stop shop. Like, so my dad got a symmetrical 8, and he's like, maybe get it mounted, but the Euro mount, it was like, it didn't have a lot of mass to it. He ended up getting a Euro mount, but it would have been one of those things where he had to do a double stop, and
just think about that.
CWD testing.
And you have to come back and get it 2 different places.
True.
Think about the driving, the time. Like, what's your time worth? How much does it cost to drive your truck from point A to point B?
Sure.
I mean, I'm saving you money for sure. And tons of time.
You know, like, I don't know, the way you're treating it like a real business,
right?
Not just some guy doing a thing.
I think the processors do it way better than the taxidermists. There's a lot of really good meat processors in the area. Some of them I'm friends with, and you know, they help me out. You know, I buy some stuff from them. They give me advice, and then you get the taxidermists over here that are, for the most part, don't get me wrong, there's good ones, but there's, for the most part, I find they're terrible business people. So we're trying to change that.
Yeah, and no offense, like, people are out there doing what they do, and it's a hobby,
right?
More than it's a business,
right? And a lot of people do it on the side, beer money, or in the garage, you know.
Yep. Which is cool, because that's great.
Which is great, yeah.
Keep doing that. What about so we had Mitch Baker on our show. He was in studio like you guys. I think we had the table a different direction, which made it hard because we're all doing this to each other. So this is better. But he is quite the voice around chronic wasting disease, right along with Doug Duran.
Oh man, see, I gotta get those guys on the podcast and talk to them because we're in ground
he's not far
zero.
from you.
Well, and he's not far. He's right up in Sauk County.
Yeah.
In fact, he lives.
You got to introduce me to that guy for sure.
We can do that. I just talked.
Mitch
to
will probably watch. Mitch always gives me the thumbs up. I'll send him a text when we leave here or whatever.
But like,
we are in
disease,
ground
right?
zero for chronic wasting disease.
So you're
where
doing
it started,
that testing right there.
We do it right there.
Iowa County.
It started as the bird flies like 3 miles from my shop. We're the #1 test site in the state.
Wow.
Probably in the country because we're in the worst area. Wisconsin is.
This whole season, there's 2-3 people from the DNR there every day. Just
for gun season,
samples.
DNR
for
comes.
gun season.
DNR comes, helps out, which is greatly appreciated. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it during gun season.
Perhaps no offense to those guys, but they didn't do.
They don't do any of that.
Yeah, and there's other places that have that say, fuck it, we're not doing it anymore because it's a huge pain in the ass. Like, I'm not gonna lie, huge pain in the ass. But I do it to serve my customers. One-stop shop, even if it's harder. But it also gets me new customers. Like, I get people that come in, get their deer tested. 2 years later, they bring me a deer, bring me a duck, you know, stuff like that. I love it, you know.
What's the deal you got this year where you hold it until test comes back?
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
This is in the works. You know, we got a rough draft and we're rolling with it. So we run into the issue where people bring us their deer, we get it done, and then they call us and say, hey, we don't want it. It's positive.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I totally didn't even consider that.
Yeah. More than you would think we get that.
I believe
It's really frustrating.
From the hip, what's
you
the
can't
percentage
donate
of that?
it either.
No, you
At
can't.
that point, because
Yeah.
so then
Can't donate it.
So he gets thrown out.
So
But I have friends that will take CWD positive meat and eat it.
because there's never been a confirmed.
I have
case.
a really
Dude,
full
you're gonna
freezer.
get coronavirus, not CWD.
Dude,
like, let's
I've
be
been
real.
joking, but like, people think I'm stupid, which is comical because like I come off that way. But I'm like, no, it's West Nile. I don't want to get West Nile. Like, dude, it's coronavirus. I'm like, no shit, asshole. I'm messing with you. I just keep calling it swine flu, coronavirus, West Nile, or like, what's the other one?
The Heine
SARS.
virus.
Yeah. Anyway. Did something else the other.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't want to get SARS. They're like, it's coronavirus.
I don't want to get the swine flu.
Right now because they thought I was serious. I'm like, you must think I'm pretty stupid. Oh man,
That's awesome.
you gotta try it next time you talk to someone.
Yeah, there's no.
What's going around? Is this the swine flu?
You should be wearing a mask. Ebola's going around.
I'll give you $200 for that hand sanitizer over there.
It
Yeah.
might come to that.
Dude, I know. Luckily, I feel pretty good. If shit hits the fan, I got a freezer full of meat. I got lots of toilet paper. I'm good.
That's something important.
Yeah.
Apparently,
But no,
it is.
the chronic wasting disease testing, like,
Yes.
even though it's a pain in the ass, that's
Huge pain in the ass. And here's why.
because the people that don't get it
But it's a
tested,
huge
they never
benefit.
find out. They don't even know.
They don't even
and
know.
That's not good.
There's a lot
for
of people.
all of us, right?
Yeah. So even if you don't give a shit, test your deer because it's
we need the data. Yeah.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
get it. And people don't understand that. Even people that are like, I don't give a shit, I'm going to eat it. Dude, just please test it.
Help them out.
And it's easier for us because when people don't test it, that's when stuff gets tricky. It's easier just to assume everyone's going to get it tested. Maybe I'll start doing that. Be like, we're just automatically going to do it.
Here's a big question.
But if people don't give us the location of the deer they shot, which some people won't, they're not going to tell us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's their honey.
It's a fucking deer, dude. They're everywhere. They're big ones everywhere. And I'm not even hunting. You can tell me, out of all people, your secret's safe with me. But we're not allowed, per the DNR, to test if they refuse a location.
Really? I feel like they should. Oh, okay.
No,
Which is
it's
fine.
not
We don't.
law.
You have to.
We don't.
Tag did you buy
That's a
your
very
county,
rare
you know?
thing too.
Yeah.
You know, most people they don't care.
Yeah, I don't. I'm happy to.
I
tell
don't care
people.
either. Yeah.
I have no honey holes, I guess. So maybe that's my problem.
Yeah. Like, just
No, I have a couple.
nub and buck. I don't want to hunt there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is a great thing, and I'm very glad we do it. You know, you come here, doesn't matter what you need, we'll get you taken care of.
And do people get their own deer back, or is that getting mixed up?
So there's
a big question,
a few
right?
different parts to that. Yeah, I get that all the time. So I need to get this message out there. You bring me your deer, all your fresh cuts, which are your backstrap, your steaks, your roast, your chops, anything that's not processed. 100% every time, no exceptions, always your own in my business, all the time. And for sausage, everything's made in big batches, 250 pounds.
You don't have a choice
or
in
more.
that matter. Yeah.
You do. We offer private batches, but you need to bring me 50 pounds to do that. Because our equipment, we have large equipment,
Can
you
you
get good
mix that with
quality.
pork to make up the difference or something?
Yeah, so we sell beef and pork, whatever you want.
Okay.
You know, so sausage is 70-30, so we need 35 pounds of venison, 15 pounds of fat content, which would be our pork that we add to it. So you bring me 35 pounds of venison, I can make you your own batch of sausage, which is, we do a ton of that. You'd be surprised. But for some people, they want 5 pounds of this, 5 pounds of that. I can't do that for a private
Are you
batch.
cooking a lot of the stuff yourself too?
We do everything in-house.
Are you doing? So I'm asking,
grinding
like,
and smoking.
Yeah, yep, curing, smoking, mixing, grinding.
I made venison brats last weekend.
Yeah, how'd they go?
Italian, dude, they were dry. I overdid it. So I boiled
didn't put
them.
enough pork in.
I boiled them, and so I didn't do it. Someone else did.
Oh.
But
Let's hear it. Okay, tell me what you put in there. I want to hear. I'll help you out.
So I paid someone, right? I paid where I took my deer. They did.
Oh, I
they
gotcha.
did the
It's already-
Italian
damage is
venison
done.
brats.
The name's
But-
already out there.
But it's okay. It could have been me. So I boiled them, and then I put them on the grill. I think I just put them on the grill a little too long.
Well, venison's really lean. Here's the thing. I don't know. There are places that charge less for stuff. They're not adding what we add.
Okay.
They might be using more venison to get the cost down. You know, I'm adding quality beef and pork to our recipes. Venison's really lean. You need fat. Fat equals flavor.
Yep.
So if you're against
Flavor was
fat, don't
good,
eat
but it
deer
was just a
sausage.
dry. It was just dry. I just
Too dry. Yeah, there needs to be more fat in there.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you had too much, it will grease out. So you'll smoke sausage, and then there'll be grease pockets and grease bleeding out of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a fine line, especially when you get into doing bear and pigs. They're
They're super
very,
greasy
very
anyways.
fatty,
So
very
you-
greasy. Yeah,
Yep.
and we do those for people, but I always give a disclaimer: hey, we're gonna run this just like our venison. You know, sometimes stuff can grease out. That's just a risk you got to be willing to take.
No, Joel.
Which just means it's extra greasy.
November
It still tastes good.
He did venison hot dogs, and he drove up to
Yeah, we
Green
do
Bay
those.
for some
That
place.
plate, wherever
Those
he was
were
in Green Bay, those
fucking
were the
good.
best.
I've not
hot
had
dogs.
something that good in any food category in a long
yeah.
time.
I'll send you some. We do regular hot dogs and new this year chili cheese dogs.
Ooh,
I'm telling
okay.
you, game changer. Chili cheese dogs are off the chart, and there's a lot of chili powder in them, so they got some kick. Like, it's
Interesting.
ultimate tailgate venison chili dogs, dude. Have you had our hot dogs at all?
Yeah.
Our wieners
They're
are
amazing.
really good. Like, I need to bring you guys some just to.
Interesting.
It's
Dude,
just such a
I-
different thing to do with deer too.
That's how I promote
That's
my
what he said.
process.
I'm like, what do you mean venison hot dog? That can't be
Venison
good.
hot dogs.
Yeah.
And then we
are
did it, and I
awesome.
was like,
We sell a
Oh,
lot of
where's
those.
In
Where's
fact,
more?
I think I would trade that for any.
And then we didn't have it with the
high-quality
bun. I
beef
just
hot
wasn't
dog.
eating it. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
this is delicious.
for sure.
You know?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome. They're good stuff.
Venison
So,
brats.
Is it so? That's your guys' favorite?
So far, it was
Product,
my buddy. It was
venison
my buddy
product?
that
Yeah.
Well,
he-
I mean, I've got another couple.
You would really like wing bologna.
Okay.
Yeah, if you like the
bring some of
wieners,
that?
you'd like the wing bologna. I did. I think I threw one in.
Yeah.
There's
There's a
Polish
pound of
sausage
that.
in there.
Yep. Polish sausage. Yep.
Oh, see, I have a lot.
If you
of
like the wieners, you like the
German,
wing
and
bologna.
like my mother's maiden name ends in ski, so you never know by Eric Clark, but I'm pretty Polish.
Clarksky, eh?
Oh,
Here we go.
Clarksky.
So, okay, we're coming up to 40-ish minutes
Jeez, time
in,
flies.
and I want to hear a little bit about turkey season and how people should be shooting those birds if they intend on getting them out, and how they should be bringing them to your other
Oh, I
taxidermists.
love this,
And-
especially with birds. Think of it this way: if you shot a buck and you slit it right in the neck wide open, we're not going to use that cape. Well, same thing goes for birds. If you blow them up, feathers are missing. It's probably not a mountable specimen. Maybe we can do something different with it. Like if you wanted a life size, we could possibly alter the pose if it's tore up pretty good. Flopping, that can make or break your bird. Because we're only going to mount something if it's going to look top notch. Sometimes we can adjust the pose, switch the mount. We can do fan mounts, breast mounts, splatter mounts, cape mounts, life size, tail, wing. I mean, there's so many things we do with turkeys. Sometimes people just show me a picture. Sure, we'll do it. Anything. Okay, so if you're going out there and you want a life size, like especially strutter mount, that's the most popular, you know, when they're full strut. If that turkey's strutting, call, make a noise, do something to get him to pop his head up, come out of a strut. You have a foot long neck, put it right on his head, blow his head off. Because we can use artificial head or freeze dry it and repair it.
So the headshots really would be a good thing.
By
That's a
far.
thing in turkey hunting.
If they're not strutting, if they're strutting, you could destroy. Just think about that: shooting into the fan, into the breast.
Well, you're tearing all that up.
destroying
feathers
it.
off all over the place.
And you will get to a point where there's too many feathers missing for it to look good. And that's where we're going to draw the line. So yeah, just make them pop their head up. Here's another thing. If you really know you want to get a full strut mount or a life size in any matter, bring a buddy with you. So let's say Andy's out there with me. Wear leather gloves. Okay.
Yep.
As soon as I pull that trigger, you run out to that bird, pick it up with both hands, both feet. Don't grab one foot. It will kick the shit out of you and send you to the hospital. I've heard a couple people spur stories. I don't know if you've heard any. Rip you open. Yeah. Hold it upside down. Just hold the feet up. Blood rushes to the head and boom, it expired pretty quick. Stop flopping. When they hit the ground and start flopping, the feathers might not all come out then, but they're loosened up. And during the mounting process, we skin them, clean the skin, start drying it. Like feathers
start dropping out.
They start dropping out. Yeah.
Turkeys can be challenging because a lot of people might not know any of those.
Turkeys are a huge pain in the ass, but the best thing is start with a good specimen.
If people haven't done that, like my turkey, man, I don't know.
Usually we can get by with a alternate pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
It takes a good bird to do a full strut mount. Because their feathers are lifted up. Every time one's gone, you have a black spot or a dark area. Or you can see their down feathers.
Yep.
Have you ever had a guy shoot one in the ass and bring in like half the fan in one hand and the turkey in the other?
I have
Just
not.
pick up feathers? No.
What
do you think we're going to do?
What
Super
was
glue it
Matt
back
telling
together?
us? He said someone brought a bird to him in a bunch of feathers in a
We got a
bag.
call here, guys.
Oh, let's take it.
We got Mr. Jeff Genke. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
We're having a good time. We're
great.
happy you called. We've been talking about you for a while.
I've been hearing my ears have been ringing.
It's tinnitus.
No, I thought I'm sitting here listening to you guys and a great conversation going on. I was wondering if you guys want to point out some of the things when you look at competitors' mounts, try to find their flaws or what are things that, a good educated customer should pay attention to, like brisket or eyes or, the anatomy parts of the taxidermy that the hacks kind of take for granted and just bang them out and push them on down the line.
Right. No, that's a great question. I don't really compare mounts with other people, but what I do tell people is the two most important things are mount, and this is what you're going to look at. What am I looking at right now talking to you?
Looks like you're looking at my profile.
Your eyes.
Okay.
Your eyes.
I'm sorry.
And the antlers. Number one most important thing. We use high quality eyes. There's cheap eyes. If you just see like a black or a super dark brown eye versus a high end glass eye, that will make the same mount will look 10 times better. Yeah. So the eyes are the most important. Correct anatomy. I get a few redos every once in a while where the eyes are just not sculpted right and they just don't look right. I'm sure you've seen them out like that where the eyes just don't look right.
What if he had a
people would
lazy
say.
eye in the living life?
I mean, I hope he has a picture to put next to it to prove it. Like, no, I really did. Look at that. Eyes and antlers are the most important thing. You can look at the sewing. You want the sewing to be good. You don't want to see skin popping out and seams busting and really thick skin. Tanning is very important. If you don't tan the skin properly, you're going to have cracking, skin pulling away, all sorts of different issues down the road. And this is more of a taxidermy kind of thing. I see things that no one else is going to see, right? Mm-hmm. But there's high-end forms that cost a little bit more, and then there's basic forms that look kind of boring and stiff too. So, get you a taxidermist that spends the money, gets the good forms, the good eyes, and his mounts really show for it. You should be able to tell wall a side-by-side comparison.
What's your preference on forms? What manufacturer do you feel has got the best fit for a Wisconsin deer? Because I kind of found different ones for different parts of the country.
Do you do taxidermy?
Who's fit, and I do.
Okay, so there's several different forms. I get most of my stuff through a supplier called Mackenzie, but Mackenzie, they buy all these other companies out and all these different artist lines of forms. So there's tons and tons of different lines of forms within this one company. They're pretty much a monopoly. They keep buying up all the little guys, and they have a lot to offer. I get most of my stuff through there. It depends on what pose you're looking. If you like a semi-upright 8400 series, it's a really big, mature look. They're huge forms. Semi-sneak, I like the 6900 series because they're really muscular. They got big necks. And you can cut the heads off, swap heads out. So especially during the rut, right? You get giant necks even on younger deer. So you can get a big form with the head maybe too big, cut the head off, swap it out. But yeah, those are probably the two my go-to for semi-upright, semi-sneak, which are more popular in my shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a new one too, a 9900 series. That's an upright. It's got the nice brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Good definition. I like,
all right.
Wisconsin deer are heavy, big, swelled up,
We
huge.
talked about this last week.
Huge bucks, right? And I want to show that off. And I'm not afraid to build the neck up, get a little bit bigger for them, shave the neck down. We cut heads off on a regular basis to get the nose to eye measurement correct.
Yeah.
Good question, Jeff.
But yeah, I mean, I would say
No
try some different
problem.
stuff. Don't just use one. Try some different stuff. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Jeff's one that helped me with the
All right.
out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Granted, I messed it up after he left by painting it. Just like, what am I getting into with this fucking guy?
Right?
Now it worked. It's all about preserving a memory.
That's
what I
right.
think.
Yeah,
That's a
All
good.
our
Thank you,
people,
Jeff.
so.
That's
Hey,
right, 'cause
another
here
thing
it is.
too is those forms that I mentioned, they cooperate really good. They're easy to mount. They got good anatomy. There's not as much prep work to do on them because the artist already incorporated a lot of that definition and detail into the form. And there's so many different sizes.
Jeff, are you going to do some turkey hunting?
Yeah, they're a good starting point. Sometimes, that some of these guys, I think that their necks are a little bit off from what I have been seeing. But
Clay is your friend.
good taxidermist is going to be able to hack that foam up and kind of,
Oh, yeah.
sculpt it and add
That's
glue
big
to
boy
it and
taxidermist. Chop
build
and
it all
foam
up
up.
to kind of customize it.
Yep.
So.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
like you don't slap a hide on a form. That's not taxidermy. You got to chop up, cut heads off,
No.
build necks up, shave them down to get it to fit
The art, the
Well,
sculpting.
the right size of the animal. I take all my measurements on the animal when it comes in, order something close to that size, and go from there.
Yep. Exactly. Close is the key word there.
Oh, yeah. And the nice thing is deer, there's so many deer forms, you can always get close. But you start getting into African stuff, you got a lot of work to do.
Yep. That and lots of ticks to deal with.
Yeah. Don't get into taxidermy if you're scared of ticks.
Oh, good point.
Covered
All
it.
right,
I would
I'll let
struggle
you
with
guys
that.
Hey, man, nice talking to you.
Good
Thanks,
talking
Jeff.
with you. Yep,
Thanks for
bye-bye.
calling in.
Number one fan. For sure. Him
That's
and
awesome.
Him and Jameson.
Yep.
Very cool.
He's got a son that's a freaking sharpshooter with a bow.
Yeah?
Ridiculous.
He's good. He is really good. He's going to be someone to keep your eye on in the hunting industry, I swear.
Oh, yeah.
For
He's a
sure.
killer.
In archery. In archery, 100% well, and he does well shooting deer too.
Look who his dad is.
Yep.
Yankee the Gangster.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him that nickname. That's not a real nickname. I also call Greg the Gangster, so I don't know what that.
Another taxidermy tip, too. I know we were talking about turkeys, but bring your stuff in fresh or frozen. I don't want stinky stuff, rotten stuff.
I've heard that.
Hides
from
can
that
slip.
Audrey gal. Bring it. She's like, if someone else sends me a freaking head that's rotted, I will not do it.
Like skulls?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. Half the heads we get are rotten. That's just part of the territory. But I teach my customers,
She's
right?
getting them in the mail that way or whatever.
Oh, that's gross. Because they're probably not packaged right. They're
No.
coming in, thawed out, bleeding. Ugh. Yeah, that's nasty.
That's what Willie's job is.
Yeah.
Deal with all the stinky heads.
Yeah. If someone brings me
Gotta
a
get
dead
a shirt
head,
for Willie. That's Willie's job.
Yeah.
deadhead Willie.
Usually, totally, I'm telling you, like, there's the dumb shirts like that do the best.
I know, right? We
Because guess who's
should.
gonna wear that shirt? Willie.
Willie.
Yeah.
He's got
Everyone's gonna be
friends.
like, I want one.
Willie, what the fuck's with that shirt? I don't know, man. I wear it to work every day.
The nice thing about the way we do our skulls is it takes the smell right out of them.
Okay,
So you can bring me a rotten dead head and we can clean it right up, make it look good,
cool.
freshen it up, no stink.
Do you have another caller? Oh, we do.
Gotta
I
get
gotta
on
make
this
a little call
calling
sound.
thing. Pretty sweet.
What'd you say?
So we gotta get on this call thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Try it for our podcast.
Hey, Kyle, you're live on the Weird Hunt podcast. What's up?
What's going on, man? It's been a while.
It's been a little bit. Yeah, we've both been busy, but you're a top fan of the podcast. I'm glad to have a call. What do you got? We got some questions.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, originally I was from Waukesha. You're familiar with that, but letting those guys know. And I hunt out in Platteville, Lancaster area. So, but now being up in Hudson, my question is this: if I were to get, say, turkey opening week or whatever, drop it off for taxidermy, do I have to be the one to pick it up, or could I have a family relative come pick it up? Do they kind of do you guys do that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or
Turkeys are good to go. I just need your consent. You call me, FaceTime me, Instagram me, whatever you want. Say, hey, so-and-so's picking it up, done deal. Gets a little bit different with migratory birds because that's federally regulated, but turkeys don't migrate. They just run around, be stupid.
Really?
Okay,
So,
what about-
but hold on a second. So if it is a migratory bird, then it's a different kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I'm licensed by the United States Fish and Wildlife to do those. And you have to have a tag with them, and they have to be picked up by the owner and dropped off by the owner.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
big
Or
deal.
shipped with the tag. You can do that too. Yeah.
Interesting. I meant shipped. Holy
I mean,
shit.
there's a lot of areas that people cross all the time. It's not a big deal, but
Sure.
if you're transporting a duck, you know, from one place to the other, if it leaves your possession and doesn't have a tag on it, that's a federal offense.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And if you ever go on those trips and need tags, just reach out to me. I can email you some, and it's just your hunting license, your name, where you shot it, what it is, what kind of amount you want, sign it.
Kyle, you gonna make the trip? Where do you hunt, Kyle?
Yeah.
Are you hunting up there? Are you coming down here at all, or what?
My uncle's got a farm down there, basically between Ellensboro and Lancaster.
Yeah, that's not too far from our shop.
So
Grant County.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
so
in Grant County when we hunt.
I
Grant
got
County, dude, the Bucks, man.
Yeah,
Oh
yes.
my God.
tag for first season down there for turkey.
Yeah, very cool.
And then gun deer. Eric and I have talked to this. Normally I'm doing bow, but this year I promised my 6-year-old daughter that I'll take her on our first gun deer. So we'll go down there for deer and go take something down there. But since you guys are basically on the way back to Waukesha, where my family's from, and
Yeah,
stuff
I mean,
like
you
that,
pretty much
it'd be
drive right
kinda
by us, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right at 151 into Madison there.
Yep.
So
My backyard is
Sound like-
151. You can't miss it. Deer processing, outdoor
Beautiful.
addiction, right on the building.
You'll see the truck.
Hey, and here's another thing too. You bring me a turkey, I'm gonna remove the breasts also and vacuum seal them for you, so you're gonna get your meat back.
Nice.
And if depending on when it happens, maybe you'll get
do
some
you guys
cheese
do
curds.
do you guys just do breasts or do you do thighs and stuff too, or
Probably just the breast because we got to take different measurements and stuff, and we might get them a little unsanitary during the skinning process. But the breast I can do for you.
sweet? Do you guys do jerky and stuff for turkeys, or do you guys just breast them out?
If you bring me 50 pounds, I will. That's a lot of turkeys, though.
Holy shit.
Is that a threat? No.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll do anything
Is that a threat?
as long as you follow my rules. Is that a threat?
This is a Burger King. You can't have it your way, Kyle.
Have it your way. 50-pound minimum.
Where'd you say you were? You said
Yeah, sweet.
Hudson.
you're up in Hudson. Yeah, would
No,
you do
Dad.
delivery all the way up there?
I would. I don't give a shit. Test me. Try me out, dude. I've gone to Iowa. I've gone to freaking north of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
You're one of those awesome business owners that's like, I'll fucking do anything.
I will. Yeah.
It's a snowstorm. It's a blizzard. I'm there.
Yeah, dude. That's why my
Four-wheel
business
drive.
is
That's
growing
why I
so
built
well.
it. I got a beer. We're good. Right.
Yep.
He's got the wrap truck, so it's free
Whatever it
advertising
takes.
away.
Yeah.
Works out.
Shit.
Good questions, Kyle.
Right on.
Great.
Yeah, man. Good luck. Hope
Yeah,
to see
I
you.
appreciate it, guys. Yep.
We may have a
Hey,
new
send me a
customer.
message on
Yeah,
Instagram.
take it easy. Appreciate it.
All right. See you later.
See you, Kyle.
Will do for sure. Thanks. Bye.
Cool.
That's what my job's all about right there.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts.
Yep.
The intrinsic value you get from being in the business or to help people.
That's what it's, I mean, that's the most fulfilling. Honestly, the most fulfilling I get is when I train people. So I do little
You
boot
talk
camps
about
and
that.
stuff. So if you ever want to learn, I do small group, one-on-one. I could do taxidermy business training. I mean, whatever you want to learn, just reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to teach you. That's
Okay.
that I feel the best when I get done doing that by far.
Nice. Helping people learn.
a lot of what I do for my job, too.
I paid $6,300 for a course. It didn't. I mean, I learned a bunch of shit for $6,300. You know. So I want to teach people the way I've learned over the years, learn the hard way, save you some struggles, save you some money, save you some time.
And see you light up like a Christmas tree when you figure it out.
Yeah. Everyone I've taught, they're like, wow, this looks better than blah, blah, blah. Or they're like, I didn't know this. You know, it's just, I love it. It's awesome.
I've taught, no, I guess I wouldn't say I've taught, but I've helped a lot of people with their podcasts. And I think everyone
Like
should do
ours.
one, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Like
they're
ours.
happy to do that.
You
because there
should.
should be more of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the last person that's going to be this competitive, psycho that's like, no, don't do it. Go nuts. Like, there's more for everybody to teach people how to do
I know.
things,
We just did one with a guy who was like a coyote. He's a coyote whisperer. He really knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. And he goes, people hold all these secrets back. Like, dude, hunting is a dying industry. Don't hold anything back. Teach people to be effective, get new people into it. Because at the end of the day,
soapbox, I won't shut up for the rest
yeah,
of the night.
like, there's plenty out there.
I planted a seed when you got here, when we were scarfing down some venison spaghetti.
Oh, man.
I want to hear about your most memorable hunt.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to mute our mic so you have the floor.
All right.
As long as I don't mute your mic.
The name Outdoor Addiction actually has like some meaning behind it. I used to be addicted to hunting. Didn't care about anything else. Didn't care about friends, family, work. All I did was hunt. Every day, bow hunted, went out. That's all I gave a shit about. So anyways, back in those days, which I transformed now into my business energy. I'm all in, super addicted. I love it. 2012, Halloween. And another little backup, Halloween is my favorite day to bow on. I don't know about you guys if you ever shot anything on Halloween, but that's when Allison just shot her buck this year too. It's the day. I've shot my biggest buck 3 separate times on Halloween. My first deer on Halloween. Like, that's just my day, right? Everyone's got their day. So 2012 Halloween, I'm like, all right, doing an all-day sit. Went and sat at this one farm in the morning. Cold, windy, face was red, didn't see any deer. I'm like, God, I'm moving. All-day sit, moved around to a different stand. Got in about 1 o'clock. I had a little camera with me. I was going to film it, I wanted to be one of those guys. I'm like, I'm going to get this on video. And I hadn't at this point. So I'm climbing up into my stand, getting my little camera arm hung up, and I look down. I'm like, holy shit, there's a big buck. That would have been like the biggest buck at the time I'd ever shot. So I grabbed my bow, pushed the camera away, drew back 12 yards, he didn't stop. And he's like on a walk, let it go, double lunged him, ran away, dropped over. I was like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. Got to watch him go down. As good as it gets, my biggest buck with a bow, super close encounter. And it happened at 1 p.m. So if that ain't the rut, I don't know what is. I'm just freaking out. I called a couple buddies, and all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, that's another deer. So I turn around, I see a doe running. I'm like, oh man, I still didn't even have an arrow knocked because I shot this buck already. And keep in mind, this was earn a buck back then, and I had 2 buck tags. You shoot a doe, you get a buck, which I had from the year before, and then the tag, which I just shot the first buck with. So the doe kind of runs by. I'm like, shoot, I don't have an arrow knocked. He's like, otherwise I probably would have shot it. And she kind of trotted up over the hill. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's still 1:30, somewhere in that time frame. And then I hear, burp, burp. I turn around. To this day, the biggest buck I've ever seen in the wild, in the woods. I mean, if I had to guess, I remember it. This was 2012. I remember it like it was yesterday. Exactly what this deer looked like, how big it was, what he was doing. Full sneak, coming through the woods, trotting after the doe, right on her trail. Same place she came from, which was behind me. So I kind of turn around. It stops. I still didn't have my arrow knocked. It was just that fast. I look at it. I'm like, and then it looks up at me. I'm like, well, I'm not moving now. And then it looks down, and then it just trotted off after the doe. I mean, it was probably 170-inch whitetail. It was just a monster. Perfect, typical 22 probably inches wide. Huge deer. I'm like, at this point, I was kind of sick to my stomach. I'm like, I had a buck tag, and I didn't have an arrow knocked. But that's how you learn hunting, right? You make mistakes, you get good, you learn. So I'm like, okay. At least I got one nice buck. But that was the biggest deer I've ever seen. And turn around. I'm like, well, fuck it. Knocked an arrow. I'm just sitting there, soaking it up. I could still see the deer laying down. By this point, it's probably in between 2 and 2:30. And I look, I'm sitting on a valley. There's a field behind me, the creek at the bottom, and then it goes uphill. I see just a monster buck coming down the hill. I'm like, dude, I don't know where I'm at, but this is like heaven. There's just rut action going on everywhere. And this buck is bigger than the one I shot, but not as big as the one that just snuck by me. He goes down to the creek, drinks water, tongue's hanging out. And this is 2 in the afternoon. And then he walks up the same trail where I shot the first buck. Same trail, 10 yards, tried to stop him. He didn't stop. Same thing. Dude, double lunged him. He ran off and died a little bit farther than the first one. I was like, all right, I'm tagged out. I'm getting out of my stand.
Wow.
Ran down, and I got on the trail that they were on. Rubs, scrapes, trees torn up. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And it was the second buck was around 2:30 in the afternoon. And that was a 140-inch 8-pointer. The first one's 110-inch 9-pointer. So
wow. Cool.
Then I called my dad, my friends, and I was all jacked up. That was probably the best day of my life. It was so much fun. I'll never forget that.
That's crazy. Double buck bonus. If you're a big buck hunter at the bar,
and
right?
The biggest one got away. It was crazy. Best day of my life.
Triple buck bonus.
Triple buck bonus.
Hearing big buck hunter in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
shit.
That was my day right there. Halloween 2012.
Unreal. I've done a lot of hunting on Halloween, hungover as shit. Yeah. Because when I was young, it's what
Halloween parties, man.
Yeah, man. 3 in the morning, I'm getting home. I'm like, oh, but I still got to go for hunting in 1 hour, and I did.
Right.
Yeah. Had chances at big ones, and was probably too hungover to know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
But
that was my day right there.
That's incredible. Where were you hunting? Not
It
specifically.
was in Barneville, Wisconsin, which is where my family's from, and that's the next town over from where I'm at right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. How cool is that?
And that's kind of why I wanted to move out back that way. Even when I first started my business, I didn't know where, or how, or when, but I knew I wanted to move back out that way to be next to my hunting spots, which I don't even use anymore because I'm so busy.
Don't worry.
But honestly,
you'll build a team and you'll.
Yeah, and that's another thing real quick. I know we're probably running short on time, but
no, you're good.
I don't this is gonna sound crazy. Like I don't really hunt that much anymore. I always go out turkey season and shoot one in the face. Like it's not as busy time of year. I can sneak out. We're nice and caught up, but I don't even hunt that much anymore, and I don't even, I don't really miss it that much. Like I really love what I'm doing.
You're immersed in what you're doing, anyways.
I am,
so
yeah.
Close to the
but here's
same.
the thing.
Yep.
I know if I went and sat out in a tree stand during the rut, I'd be completely fucked and want to go every day. So let's be real.
I need you to really pick up my slack.
Right? Yeah. But and another thing too is I am building a team. I hired a couple artists that work for me, and then got some people that help out with the deer processing, and so I have an awesome team behind me now. Like I got it to this point, and now they're helping me get it to the next point. So shout out to my team. Shout out to my mom for letting me start this in the garage. And thanks for coming, Andy.
Yeah, God, I can't imagine. Was there any like moments you can think where your mom came and was like,
yeah, before I even start, she's like, "You're not doing it here." I'm like, "Okay," and then I showed up with some dead deer.
Yeah, I've got plenty of moments where your mom's just screaming at you, and we're just sitting in the garage drinking beer, watching you mount something. That's what our Friday, Saturday nights consisted of.
But she got used to it.
19,
She's really supportive of me, so
yeah.
it worked out in the end.
She's got to be like the main stakeholder in the business at this point.
Probably. Shit.
She's the first investor, right?
Literally, yeah. I mean, I think she co-signed a loan for me to go to taxidermy school.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good for her.
So, hey, that's another thing. If you want to learn something, don't be afraid to
spend some money to learn.
You have to. Like, I spend a lot of money on training courses, business courses, anything to learn. Like, that's the most important thing. Invest in yourself and invest in your knowledge, and you can get anywhere you want.
That's cool. Well, that's it. That's a wrap, guys. How do people find you on the internet? Where should they go on their phones?
Outdoor Addiction Taxidermy on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Outdoor Addiction Taxidermy and Wild Game Processing. Facebook, Alex Lease. YouTube, Alex Lease. So our podcast is under my name, Alex Lease, on my channel on YouTube, and we post lots of taxidermy videos and whatever we're doing.
Then Instagram OA podcast for the
podcast. Yep. And Andy, where do they find you?
I don't know. Borchers Andrew 22 or something.
Spell that out.
No idea.
Borchers, Borchers, Andrews,
Andrew,
just like it sounds.
22.
Andrew 22. Yep, Borchers Andrew 22. And he's following my page. So you can find him on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube,
Andy, the podcast
Instagram,
phenom.
Facebook. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Outdoor Addiction, our slogan is no limits. No job too big, too small, one-stop shop, and we're just getting started.
Say that.
I like that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. Really appreciate it. This was fun.
Coming out. It's great having you.
Cool.
Very
I'm going to
cool.
end the live video. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the calls, Jeff. And, whoa, my brain.
Kyle.
I know Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. I love you, buddy. All right. just it's one of those days. All right, guys.
You need another Corona.
Yeah, that's that virus. All right. Adios. I'm going to end the live video, and this will be produced tonight, so you can have it in your drive-in tomorrow.